All right, and we're back for a little Friday update. Uh, so we're going to actually introduce a new member of the team today, which is Ryan. Ryan, welcome to the team.
Hello, thanks, lads. Thank you very much. Great to be here. Only a few weeks in now, and I'm already on the Friday updates. Baptism of fire here.
Oh yeah. So look, you've done a great job, kind of putting all together all the branding stuff, which is great to see. So look, yeah, it's great to have you on board. Your course is excellent. So was the course in UCC? It was the digital media?
In M2 actually, so
But yeah.
creative digital media. Yeah, so I'm from a kind of a digital media background. So but as I would have said to Keena Markey, like in my interview, I kind of came from. I originally studied it for a small while mechanical engineering. So I suppose I've got like a technical side as well. So yeah, I thought this was like a nice mix of kind of the creative and technical sides of things. So
You moved away from the engineering to get more technical or to get more design.
yeah, moved as far away as I could. But yeah, no, I think I made the right decision. It's a great course. In fairness, it's a great course. I really enjoyed it. So yeah.
Yeah, very good. Well, Ryan, welcome to the team, and look, we'll get through some kind of updates that we have here, and I will present our screen, and we'll go for the weekly discussion. All right, so I suppose the first thing is 4th of July.
4th of July. Happy 4th of July.
I know. I wonder how things are going across the pond. I hope they're
They usually
staying
get
safe with all
invaded
the
by aliens,
fireworks.
don't they? Probably Will Smith has gone up in a fighter jet.
Is that on the news?
What? It's Independence Day to film, dude. Come on.
Oh, sorry.
This.
Cultural reference. Apologies for that.
Start over.
I
I
hope
know.
that's not on the news. Christ.
No, I hope not. Oh, well.
He's in the right.
Anyway, so look, let's get into things. So we have a new kind of format today. We're going to get into some news, a couple of tips, deep dives into certain areas, and even some FAQs that some people have been asking on a regular basis. Or even Ryan, you might have a few questions as well that we can kind of get through. But one of the big ones we usually start off these things with is a core update from Google. So we're going to do a bit more of a deep dive into this one a little bit later, but it's always good to reference it. It started at the end of June. They're estimating about 3 weeks to roll out, but we'll talk a bit more about that later. Look, the big one the clients are asking me the whole time now is about this new AI mode and how it's going to impact traffic and what's going to happen. But AI mode is out in the US. It is rolling out to, I believe India was actually in the full results as well. And it's been rolled out worldwide. So I don't know when, but when it does, that's when impacts are going to really be seen. So it'll be an interesting kind of change up. But we're definitely going to see an increase in impressions and a decrease in clicks if your SEO is right. But the zero-click search is the topic of on every SEO's lips at the moment, and what we're doing to negate it. But Google themselves, the reps have said that these the clicks themselves are going to be worth so much more because the people who are looking for informational based queries, they're not going to go further down the line. They're just going to get their answer and leave. Hopefully your brand is good enough to actually get the click, and the people who do have intent are going to click through and actually make a purchase, check out your service, buy your product. But it's very early days. We've been kind of trying to figure out what the impressions are going to look like in Search Console, how it's going to appear. It's kind of an unknown at the moment. Google have been giving updates on it, but there is going to be a lot of questions around this and the impacts and what we can do to negate it. But we will be having to change SEO strategy a little bit towards, well, not a little bit, a lot towards brand building. Going through, making sure formatting is concise, answering different questions, kind of doing conversational based content as well as just, I think the fluff is going to be taken out of content, which is a good thing. But there's going to be so much more that we have to dig into AI mode. But another news update is our this one's going to affect the YouTube. So just like the unfortunate SEOs who are optimizing to get all traffic from search engines, this one is coming out and it's targeting it came out in early July there, just a few days ago. The monetization point of view, where they've actually said that they're going to it has to be original, authentic content, and that's part of their monetization I suppose, requirements. And they've updated this in the guidelines that, this better update reflects what inauthentic content looks like today. So mass produced and repetitive content, those are the things they're going to be looking out for. Now, is this kind of their way of combating faceless YouTube channels, or is it a way of coming up against AI generated stuff that's just like I said, mass produced and commented on? There probably has to be more clarity on it, but yeah, they're really kind of looks like they're going to crack down on the YouTube side of things.
Oh yeah, so this is a bit of an interesting one. And might have kind of longer implications, but Cloudflare, so massive CDN or content delivery network, is that right? Which hosts about a fifth of the internet. Yeah, it's actually mad. Like, and they have big sites like Condé Nast. I think half of Reddit is built on Cloudflare. Sky News, BuzzFeed. They're after launching a new pay-per-crawl for AI bots. So going forward, if an AI bot like ChatGPT or Google or Perplexity wants to crawl a site, you have the option, if you're hosted on Cloudflare, to charge them. So I think it'll be set by default to block all AI bots, and then publishers will have the option to set it to charge.
That's mad.
Yeah.
There's going to be some difference in the world in a year or two, isn't there? Like, it's moving so fast that monetizing the content in this way,
Like,
I wouldn't say the LLMs are happy.
Yeah, like there's obviously like a lot of chat for the last year or two about, plagiarism and where, misappropriating content without sources. And I suppose like the AIs just take things from pages on the internet. So Cloudflare are kind of saying this is their way of taking back control for creators and giving them a little bit more control over their own content. But I mean, it's kind of it's a big change.
Yeah.
Big change. So like if a bot doesn't pay, it gets a 402 error telling it like it needs to require payment to access the page. And so like I don't know. I mean,
who would they pay? Like is this
yeah,
New York Times or some really high value websites? Are they going to pay small creators?
And then I mean, like it said, there's a lot of big platforms who are already kind of using it. I think it's on about 1 million sites. Cloudflare have said already. But would they have kind of before rolling this out talked to clients? Because I mean, if you don't put this on, or do you want to be blocked from Google's AI overuse, or do you want to be blocked from ChatGPT?
Well, we're starting to see a good bit of referral traffic increasing. Now, it's like over the last few months, it's increasing on a lot of clients by like 300, 400, 500%, but that's going from like 5 to 25, visits. So it's not like Google is still the largest source of referral for us for most of our clients. So, but yeah, we'll have a look. Speaking of the AI side of things, the LLMs.txt is kind of a new one brought out that's kind of like the robots.txt for LLMs. So it's telling them about a website, all the different lists of posts. But I've been going around and having a look at a few different places like SEMrush, Ahrefs. They all have blogs on it, but they don't seem to have implemented it. The one that has implemented it is Search Engine Land. We've put it on one of our domains, and it might be something that we roll out a little bit more. But it is something that it's kind of, I feel as though it's one of these ones that it hasn't been adopted fully, but when it does, the people that have it in place will benefit more.
Yeah, I was reading a thing on Ahrefs blog that said not even the AI like ChatGPT and Perplexity, they're not even really honoring the
this at the moment,
LLM
yeah.
files. Yeah, they're just kind of bypassing them. So I think, like you're saying, it's probably good to have it there for now, but at the moment it's not necessary.
It might not ever be. Like, I reckon still that the robots.txt, you see, that's where they blacklist or block most of the chatbots from coming on. So yeah.
Then just to go back to that Cloudflare thing, like, I mean, because that could impact this kind of business too. I mean, you might see a shift towards paid access for AI training and crawling.
Yeah. The models are. It's going to be interesting how the larger players like OpenAI adapt to this kind of thing. Like, are their models going to get worse when they're not fed as much relevant information from top sources? That'll be a big one. But yeah.
So there's a deep dive of the week here now. So I think the kind of main, most pressing thing probably is the Google June core update. So I'll just run through like some of the details of it there basically. So it was announced on June 30th at approximately around 2 o'clock. So the rollout's going to span for 3 weeks, deviating from more typical 2-week core update cycle. And it's going to be just a broad core update, so impacting all the content types globally across languages, regions, and industries. Designed to better surface relevant, satisfying people-first content, so it's not to penalise sites. And the impact and volatility. So initial signs of ranking volatility emerged around the 2nd of July. Tools like SEMrush, Mozcast and stuff, they were kind of detecting fluctuations. And the volatility ties to the core update launch, but also there's some preceding unconfirmed mini updates as well.
Happening, yeah.
June 25th to the 29th.
Yeah, it just the core update one feels very like, now that with the AI stuff coming out, I'm like, is it as important? Sorry, it didn't go on.
No, yeah. So there's so the update marks 2 major core updates in 2025, following the March update. I think I read somewhere as well that Google had actually said to expect much more core updates this year. So only 2 in the first half of the year, I think, tracks with 2024. So I think that maybe means there could be a lot more in the second half of the year.
It's funny, like, Cian, I started with you in September 23, I think. When I started, there was the helpful content update. And then in the October, there was the spam update. Then there was the core update in October 23. Then there was a core update in November. Then in 2024, there was the March core update. There was a couple of smaller ones for AI overviews. Then there was a spam update in June. Like, it was an August core update, wasn't there? And was there one at the end of last year? And then there's so many of them happening.
The biggest one, like the helpful content update, was a massive one. Like, that's targeting, is this really helpful or is it not? I believe that one kicked off really in the SEO communities and the affiliate space as well, because they were basically, anyone who's creating affiliate marketing links got really impacted. Their traffic just dropped off a cliff. They wanted to do things like who had original content. So, like, for travel blogs, as an example, we had a travel blog that absolutely died a death because of these updates, and it's not something that I want to continue anyway. But especially with AI content now, but those ones had what would you call it? If you couldn't just have generic images like from Pixabay or something other place, they wanted genuine images taken by you, your camera. They wanted you to actually have experience in the topic. So that's why this EAT principle is so massive, to prove that. But they don't say it's not a ranking factor, but they're saying if you're doing these things, your content is generally helpful. The spam update was a big one as well, to trying to get rid of programmatic SEO as well, content relevance. People who are getting huge amounts of, I suppose, index pages on the website as quickly as possible and removing those. But yeah, sorry, Ryan.
But yeah, so there you actually mentioned it there. So the EAT, that's one of the main things I think for the SEO guidance is writing content with expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. And if the traffic drops, audit content quality and alignment with the user intent.
Yeah.
So using Google's people first content guidance. And then so changes may also shift visibility on Google Discover, featured snippets, AI overviews, and other SERP elements.
Yeah, the surf elements are changing. But look, the big thing is with this, where we never make rash decisions, because sometimes one of these can roll out. You can drop rankings over a week or two, but then you can come back all of a sudden as well.
So you kind of won't really know anything, Cian, for about 3 weeks, really, right?
Until it rolls out, really. And it's just mad that sometimes when when these core updates happen, it can impact a website's traffic a lot, but it can take almost till the next core update comes back before someone can recover if they have been impacted. It is a big deal, like, for a lot of websites. More on the informational based content, I believe, but yeah. The shadow dive of the week is new.
Oh yeah, this is just their nonsense content, isn't it?
The
Yeah,
China
no, this is just something I saw there yesterday. Thought it was cool. China had its first ever robot AI football match. You can see the little. We'll put the link in here. I don't think we can play the video, but two universities in China basically got robots, plugged them up with AI, and had them play a game of football. So I think one team lost 4-3. But is there a way we can show just a
If you
clip?
look closely, you can actually see Marcus in the crowd there.
Yeah, I'm in the.
do you know what? This is going to be funny. Like, imagine in what this is going to be like in 20, 30 years, maybe even sooner than that, where not only will you have realistic robots, but what happens if you can upload and input the styles of previous footballers? So, like, oh, this one, we're going to give him Messi's skill level and intensity and all his moves. We're going to have this one learn off Ronaldo. Like, that would be unbelievable.
Yeah, no.
The big thing I can see with this is this going to imagine the gambling that's going to go on in this.
If you watch, I'll send you the clip there. I don't know, can we put it up on screen like Joe Rogan? Bring it up.
Bring it up there, Jamie.
But it's not great. Like, you know, you're.
I wasn't expecting it to be.
Yeah. I mean, you're not talking Terminator levels of AI robots, and you know they're just kind of falling over. It'd be like three of us playing football, you know, just run around falling over. Like, it's cool. Like, I mean, it's cool to see how far this stuff is kind of advancing, but I wouldn't be worried about a Skynet style thing just yet, you know.
Yeah, and there's no one controlling them. Like,
yeah, I think they're just plugged in with yeah,
scored a goal in this one.
They were kind of just handed over to two teams of programmers, and then they programmed them up. I suppose it'd be similar to like the AI in FIFA or something.
Yeah,
say that with no knowledge of how to do AI for FIFA
like
or anything.
Don't imagine they just absolutely start kicking the heads off each other in the game.
But there was a pretty big crowd at it as well, you know. And
was it?
You kind of be wondering now.
We'll put a link in the.
Like, you know, when you watch, you'd watch like films, and it's always, you know, sci-fi stuff set in the future, and it's always these kind of droids doing boxing or something like that, you know. So it's kind of nearly.
What was that one? Hugh Jackman was in one like that, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Boxing match with robots. Don't know.
But yeah, there you go now. There's the shallow dive of the week.
All right. Helpful tool of the week.
We also have helpful tool of the week here. So this is something, as someone who's new to SEO, I've been finding this one really helpful. So it's a Chrome extension called Detailed SEO Extension. This could be something that people are very, very familiar with, I suppose, or maybe they don't know about it, but it just gives you a good kind of overview of all the kind of SEO pillars that you need to see in any web page. So you can basically open it up on any web page, and it'll tell you the title tag, the meta description, and then it'll even flag whether they're too long or short. So it kind of does all the hard work for you there. And a big one too is the H1s, H2s, the heading tag.
Yeah, I love it. I love it for that to see it hit all the marks on it. Yeah.
But and as well, even the other big one too as well, that it flags images without alt text. So, and it'll tell you the exact amount. So I mean, like, it's a great place to start, I suppose, if you're going in to change a website or change stuff about a page. And if you're just curious about other pages, like I almost find myself now opening it on every page just to see like what kind of what's there.
Yeah, well, I love it for when I'm doing e-com reviews as well on e-com product pages or collection pages where I'm trying to see if there's any canonical issues. That's the thing I love it for, to make sure a page is indexable. As you said, you get all the green ticks, the green marks, URL canonical. If it's 200, it's perfect. And as you said here, it's like, it's free.
Yeah, exactly. It's free and like so easy to use. It always works. And I think that's like a good thing there. Like, you know, it's for me, someone starting off SEO, like it has the basics, you know, like the title, the meta description tag. But like you said there, like you've got other uses for it as like a more experienced person with the canonicals and stuff. So it's like it's a good one for everyone to have. Like I feel like
Yeah, I think the UX on this one it's really good. Like I used to use SEO Quake and a few different ones as well, even the Moz ones, which are still good. But this one was definitely the standout one for me. All right. So new section, the Ask the Experts. So we noticed this one, we're going through Reddit and seeing a few of these, and But what changes in
Are
traffic?
the experts joining us, or
I'm
Yeah,
fighting the urge to say it.
yeah. This is Mark. You take this one.
all right?
You're Team America now. In fairness,
Team
what you got
America.
your
The jersey, yeah.
the jersey on?
AJ Brown's Super Bowl jersey.
Oh,
Yeah, what changes in traffic and other SEO metrics should be expected on July 4th or 4th of July even, I suppose we should say.
This would kind of be the same for any big holiday, right? So you'll probably see a drop in traffic. You'll see less engagement. And then in terms of like search behavior, it'll be things like, I don't know, is Walmart open on Christmas or on July 4th?
oh,
Do
you
you
saw
know,
that? Yeah,
it'll
yeah.
be, um, 4th of July events near me. Do you know that kind of stuff? Um, but yeah, you could generally expect to see a fairly
Like
decent drop in traffic, but that'll be like across the board for people because you have, you know, people aren't really Googling shit. They're just traveling or they're eating or they're drinking or a combination of all
that.
three.
You know what? That's exactly it. I guarantee you, stores, if their opening hours would be a big one. If you're selling barbecues, fireworks, anything like that, you can be guaranteed the traffic's up. But if you're, I don't know, selling software and you're wondering why you don't have many leads coming in around this time of year, well,
Yeah.
look, it's the same. To me, I believe this is kind of like the equivalent of Thanksgiving. People are, well, maybe not spending time with family. They might be going off partying, but a lot of spend time with family as well. Uh, but I don't think the impact is as big as Christmas.
Yeah.
The holidays are there, but it is still you're going to see a fluctuation over this weekend.
I think I don't know, if you wanted to kind of see, like, go into Google Trends, go to like the US and just see what's trending in the last 7 days, the last 24 hours, and the last 4 hours, and you'll kind of just see the bit of the difference, I suppose, in search behavior.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
So the next question is, I don't know, do you want to take this, Keane, or either one of our experts can take this, but how do you think SEO strategies are going to change with AI mode featuring in Google? So very topical at the minute.
Well, a big one for me in this one is, as we kind of mentioned a little bit earlier, with the AI mode release, the increase in impressions is going to be going up and clicks is going to be going down. So if you're an SEO agency or if you have an SEO company working for you, like your metrics that you would have been judging them on to date would have been all around your clicks going up and the amount of traffic coming to your website. Now, unfortunately, a lot of that informational based traffic, people are just going to get the answer in the search results, so zero click search. So with that in mind, your strategy is going to have to come around to understanding that you're still going to have to do all of the basic SEO tasks, but that's just part one. The other part now is really building the brand around things. So in other words, if you're an unknown website, why would an LLM such as ChatGPT or Gemini or AI mode mention you when you don't have enough history or information built up around your website? They want to cite the best places. And I think the only way that they'd cite you is if you're a smaller website and you don't have any authority, will be if there's no other answers for that particular topic. I think competitive niches, you have to have that brand, and that's going to be a huge thing for us. So
Would you be looking at stuff like, first-hand experiences over,
you're going to be looking at
kind of
that.
case studies and original research and
Oh, massively. Like the LLMs, they want to answer the question as best as possible, and they want to use the best source. That's the bottom line. So if you're going to have someone like, say, SEM Rush, or sorry, not SEM Rush, say you're in the medical field, and you have an answer of like how to solve back pain. Like they're just going to give the answer, but they're going to only cite the top references like Mayo Clinic
yeah.
or local hospitals, maybe in your country, depending on where you are. If they have good information, they might reference those as well. But the strategy is going to be building more brand, you're going to have to get more references online and links. A lot of what I'm seeing is people are saying you should get mentioned in lists around your service, and which is true. The more lists you're mentioned in, the more links you get, and the more that the LLMs learn that, oh, this person is in this. But that's only specific to some industries. I think product strategy is going to change now, where your merchant center, which is merchant center in the free tool, there's a lot more products featuring in some of these tools. So getting your product mentioned in say ChatGPT, you're going to be able to upload your product catalog and file to those LLMs now. I think there's a new feature. Google's going to have that probably built into Merchant Center because it has that information handy. That's going to be one. Local SEO for local businesses. Your map listing is going to be essential because it looks like we've done some tests going on the AI mode and using high bias and VPNs and looking at the US market. When we're kicking in and seeing some of those, it's pretty obvious that the people on the maps, they're getting into the search results because there's on the AI mode, there's not 10 blue links anymore. We saw, I think we like carpenters in Phoenix and accountants in Dallas, and it was just the map listing, and some of the map didn't even show. It was just the links to the actual places because they're the best options. And yeah, getting those links is going to be important. Using concise language is going to be a big one as well. That's something
Yeah,
that we
that's what I
have
was
to
going to
really.
ask you. What about in terms of like structure and content? Because LLMs generally, like, they pull in question-based queries. So like, what is, how is, who are.
Yeah, those ones are going to be big. So how to like
So would
if
you
we
be trying to like directly answer? You go off, you do your keyword research, and then look for like the most commonly asked questions around a topic, and then would you like try and directly answer those in
yeah.
your content? And then one of our favorites is FAQs, right?
Oh, well, look, that one's always going to be there. Now, I do think that the era of the FAQ that you hide in the paragraph down the end, I think that's going to be picked up on in a while, where it's not going to be the best strategy. It's still a really good strategy to get that information in there, but yes, we're going to see some changes, I reckon, in the way things are done. But how you structure and format your article, I think, is going to be a big one.
Mm.
So if we actually just have a quick look at one of the search results, I'll just bring up. I'll bring over one that I did recently to try and rank under this one. It was how to create a sitemap in WordPress. It was a simple question. Now, I developed these because I got people asking me a lot of questions on them, but I decided to go in and structure this one. So this is a test one where I wanted to structure the article to feature more so that I could get into these different things. And big one down here, this is where your YouTube strategy is going to come into play as well. So even though I've gone on and done a really good article, I've gotten this mention in here. The prominent one would obviously mean that someone's going to click through and feature in that video. So I structured it with the H1s the whole way through, and then the different tools and everything, and the actual installation. So the step by step. But there was already an answer here. So I used the format of the answer to develop my blog on that one. But
Good.
I really should be creating YouTube in here because YouTube references are going to be a big point of reference for this going forward in the future. So
Is it showing videos for like almost for most questions?
yeah. Well, I believe the citations are like there's a fantastic article if I can dig it out. So what is it? AI overview citation data. I'll try and find it and bring it up. Mark, you actually sent this to me, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm just looking for it here now.
Yeah. If we can dig this one out, it's a really good one. You would have sent it to me on a list. So I actually found
Oh, cool,
the.
you have it there. Yeah.
Yeah, I found it here. So share it. So we're doing the citations, John, about the YouTube one popping in, right? So this is the Profound, tryprofound.com, their blog. They did a study on it, and some of the key findings: heavy reliance on YouTube, Reddit, social and video platforms. And Reddit was the top one, but this is a really good graph on the breakdown.
Yeah.
So Wikipedia in ChatGPT was responsible for 47.9 of sources, Reddit 11, Forbes, G2, TechRadar, NerdWallet, Business Insider. And there's a source by
Media is massive,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. And then the AI overviews, which is different again from the ChatGPT ones. This is like YouTube is 18.8. So like that one we just saw there on the how to create a sitemap, that will be part of that.
It's
18%.
It's kind of interesting, you know, kind of shows where Google is going with Reddit and YouTube. So it's kind of first person user experience themed content, like
Yeah.
now the Reddit stuff could be a little bit dodgy because it's probably where it's pulling all those hallucinations from. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting to see that's the route they're going down, isn't it?
It's
And like
also
Quora,
if they're referencing Reddit
Yeah.
for some of their top answers, they're like taking.
well, yeah, Reddit, Quora. So that's just, you ask a question to the internet and someone answers.
Yeah.
A lot of people love that too. They love just the personal answers.
Form
Um,
style. Yeah.
you can believe it more than an article sometimes, I suppose.
It definitely is. But look, it's something to think about. Maybe we need to include a lot of strategies for those for clients where we say, right, we need to move over more towards some of this stuff. So, okay. So there's kind of where, like, there's a couple of strategies anyway. There's probably a lot more to go over in this, like not an easy question to answer straight off. I reckon we're going to have to develop something on it to talk about it a bit more, but it's good to see.
So yeah, the last question there is how are metrics going to change?
Okay. So yeah, metric side of things. Like as I mentioned, clicks are going to start going down and impressions are going to start going through the roof. Now the information and the queries that they give us isn't going to be a lot, and what areas of the search results we're going to get impressions from. So like in other words, if I go back to share that screen again, just on the example one back here, if I present the Chrome tab, we come on there. Like, is this an impression when we do that search? So we do this search. Is this an impression now? Most likely. We popped in here. Now is it an impression after I clicked it, or was it after the overview? I need to figure out all these kind of things, do some testing, and look, I'm going to be relying on a lot of industry experts and people who have large data to draw from to kind of find out some of these answers as well. But say if I come down here and you see the way this is referenced, access the sitemap. Here's our 3 versions here. If I click on this, 3 different versions come in. Now that's an impression, I believe.
Yeah.
But the impression only happens after I make a click. So even though they're referenced here, and I'm referencing 1, 2, a few of them, like that impression isn't showing until that gets the click.
Yeah.
Now, how this is going to appear in our search console is going to be difficult to kind of see. And maybe Google are going to release different areas in Search Console. In Bing Webmaster Tools, it might be the same. Different features pop out that we can use and analyze. But yeah, metrics, it's going to be called the crocodile effect, where all your impressions are going to be up and clicks are going to come down. It's going to look like a mouth, basically.
It was being called the Great Separation, no?
Yeah, the Great Decoupling is what they're calling it. And Google's thing is you're going to get less, but it's going to be worth so much more. So your conversion rates are going to be way higher.
So is that what you'd be looking at then instead of traditional traffic and click-through rates? You'd be looking at conversions and impressions.
Yeah. It's going to be, well, look, no matter what, we always, even though SEO is our main service and getting people organic traffic is a large part of what we do, we're always trying to, like the main goal, okay, rankings, they're the micro goals that get the leads. But like, it's not always more traffic that makes sense. It's the right type of traffic. So if you're showing up under service-based stuff where people have commercial intent, you're going to get your traffic through. The problem is to get into those commercial intents, you're still going to have to build that topical authority by writing around several topics and becoming an authority. It's just you're not going to be rewarded with the clicks like you used to be. That's what I think is the big thing. And it's going to annoy a lot of people. It's going to annoy a lot of companies because less people coming into your website. There's also something else that happens within that. So when you come into a website and I pop into my website, we have the remarketing going for paid ads if we wanted, and remarketing on Facebook. But if less traffic is coming in, then our Met pixels and our Facebook or Google ad pixels aren't learning who the people who are actually genuinely visiting the website. They're people those people are now kind of, Google knows about them, and that's why the reliance on things like Performance Max is going to come into play a lot more, because you're using Google's data instead of your own. So it's going to have a knock-on effect on your paid media campaigns as well, I personally believe.
Like more the traditional metrics like keyword rankings, that's less relevant now as well, then, right? Isn't it?
It is, yeah, because what's number one? Like number one in Google search, you're way down the list. I think you're going to be optimizing for your AI overview now.
Yeah.
In SEMrush.
And even then, if you're in there, you're still probably going to see a decline in traffic and clicks. So
Yeah.
you'd be kind of looking for engagement, conversions.
Is there also less on the first page now? Did it push some, like, does it give less answers on the first page?
No, there's still the same amount for the moment, but AI mode is going to completely change that. AI mode means that you're going to have the rankings and everything is going to be pushed out. So at the moment, AI mode is a tab you have to select, but how long until AI mode becomes the default for a search engine? Because the Google CEO, Sundar, I remember his surname, but he said, yeah, we're evolving search. So the way that we search now and we use Google, like, do you use Google for a search, Ryan, when you're a few years younger than us?
Yeah.
So you're still doing it, but talk to my teenage cousin and they're using ChatGPT for most of their searches.
You know what? Funnily enough, when the AI overview came into Google and I started getting, like, you know, the answers I needed at the very top in the AI overview, that made me then starting to go to ChatGPT a bit. I feel like that gave me, like, the trust I needed in AI's answers to then start searching in ChatGPT a bit.
So you've pushed it because ChatGPT are known as the default.
Yeah, that must be it. Like, it's kind of funny without even knowing.
The thing I don't know is who's going to win the AI race. That's the big thing, isn't it?
Well,
someone still thinks that a lot of people still think that Google are going to win it because Google are built on, they have so much more data than AI.
this is like, I know ChatGPT was like the first big one, but Google has the monopoly on search.
Yeah. For the moment. Yeah.
But even
it's the name, I suppose, for the minute.
Yeah.
It's just the popular name, like.
Yeah.
As well, for most people's uses, like, they're probably fairly indistinguishable from each other. Like, I mean, you could probably use any of them for your day-to-day use.
Because we use Google Workspace, I started using Gemini there, and like Gemini is a fantastic LLM. It's just as good as ChatGPT, and I actually prefer some of the features in Gemini. But part of me still always wants to go back to ChatGPT, and I'm actually starting to compare answers to see what the relevance is. And sometimes actually Google's answers are better. But well, anyway, that's been a good update, new format. So we'll do more of these. But I suppose anyone out there wants to follow us, we're going to be trying to get these done every Friday. We haven't done them in a few months now, so we're getting back into things.
And if anybody has a question for that section, that new section, send it on.
Yeah.
We promise to have experts in next time.
Yeah.
Are the experts in the room with you?
It's ChatGPT. All right, guys. And I will talk to you later. Have a good one.
Thanks.
That's